Hello. I've been pulled out of bed 2 or 3 different times to make this video. Each time I sit down to make it, I feel convinced that I'm not grounded enough and that I should get some rest and make it tomorrow. But then I go lay down and my spirit or something just is like, no, I wanna unburden myself right now. I wanna share about this now. And so I finally gave in. And the last time I picked up my phone just now to put it in the holster here, the holster, also known as a camera stand, it was 11:11. I was like, fuck it. And there was just 44 on the screen when I said that. So I'm just gonna use that as a reason, another reason besides the energy in my body demanding to be expressed. Just gonna use that as another reason to do this video right now. It's been a beautiful day of just unshackling myself and becoming a lot more free. Really enjoyed making and posting the video about how I have almost no money. And I felt in making it how there was just such my energy field just blew wide open. I've just felt so expanded and so connected with all of myself since making it. And I've also felt, quite a lot of other energies. I think when a lot of light comes in, it's gonna flush up all kinds of stuff. I actually wrote down a really good quote from the talented Mr. Ripley that I'll share in the, should I get it now or I'll share it in the post feed or whatever, where I share comments, but the community feed. But I do want to make this video. This is the reason I got up. This video about how much potentially, and I was feeling into it. I was like, is this actually true? But I'm going to say it out loud and then we're going to have an exploration. So what I want to make this video about is how much I miss sex. Just having sex. And how there's so much in me that just loves sex so much. And it's been one of the most enjoyable things for this body to partake in, and this soul and this human to engage with in form. And there's this part of me that's just there's this part that is longing for it. Gosh, I really want to connect with someone in that way. So I want to let that part really be here, because that's the part that wants to make this video, It wants to say that out loud, just like it wants to name things. And the reason I miss it is because I'm not having any of it, I've been on this coming up on 2 years of celibacy. And I never thought I would go 2 years without having sex. Sex was the center of my life before I started going without it, right? It was just everything to me. Trying not to filter myself, but I already did a little bit. It's interesting. Okay, what doesn't want to say what? And so this 2 years of celibacy that I've been on has been very much, for a lot of parts of me, has been very involuntary. And I think that's called incel, right? Involuntary celibacy. But it hasn't been involuntary maybe in the way that is most commonly referred to or something. I've had opportunities to have sex, and it's just there's been a force field around it. My body just wouldn't let me, time after time. And I think it happened a number of times that eventually I just gave up. I like gave up on the idea of like having sex. I was like, it's just not gonna happen. I can get myself in this position with someone I really, really want to have sex with. And you know, they want to have sex with me. And it just, you know, and I'm feeling like maybe it's like sexual trauma. Like finally I'm feeling this sexual trauma coming to the surface, and there's a fear about sex now. So maybe it could be like an anorexia, like an avoidance of it, like I'm scared of it. It could be just my soul trying to show me what life is like without sex, and to let me experience that life is worth living without always being in some type of sexual engagement. And I have had some like Zoomy type sex, you know, like some video type, you know, playing around, taking your clothes off kind of stuff. So it hasn't been like all the way celibate, and I have, you know, whatever, engaged in like some type of like making out and cuddling, but like, I'm feeling a lot right now. Yeah, this channel's going in a new direction. Everything's changing. Thank God. Yeah. So I'm just gonna stay slow so I can be with the feelings that come through. Something's like in my body, like, you shouldn't be saying this. You shouldn't be saying this. Yeah. So I'm just gonna try to stay with the energy. Yeah, this is powerful. Fuck, talking about sex, it's let's talk about sex. There's a lot of shame in the sacral about this. And there's a lot of the system that isn't in love with this idea. And so I'm just trying to slow down for those parts and really just stay with this moment. Because this is just alchemy at the end of the day. That's what's happening here. And as I wrote that in a Patreon comment, we're really here to dissolve shame and all these things. So, all right. So yeah, it hasn't been complete like monk celibacy or something, but it has been no sex, no physical sex, you know? And yeah, I wanted to say like that part that misses it. There's a part in the body, like the animal body, that's really wired for it, has missed it. And I don't know if I have the strength to finish this video, if I'm being honest. I might get shut down by shame. Yeah, I have a lot of shame around sex still. It's so interesting. We'll see if I have the strength, I don't know. I like what I've said so far, mostly. God damn it. This channel, it's gonna burn me to the ground. I'm being burnt to the ground now. On the cross. I was asking for this. And now it's like the energy is like, I have to. It's like, yo, you were asking for this. Let's take you to Alligator Point, Florida. Put you on the ocean. These vibrations are so warrior-like. And they're like, you're gonna be free here, buddy. We're gonna liberate you, whether you like it or not. And I love it. So yeah, had a lot of opportunities to have sex. The body just like wouldn't do it. Eventually I gave up. I gave up the idea. And I just was like, I guess I'm being celibate. I started attending Sex and Love Addict Anonymous meetings. Because I think there was a huge component. And someone asked me in a comment earlier, was I addicted to gambling? Oh, you better believe it. Was I addicted to caffeine, alcohol, marijuana, sex, love, validation, approval? Was I addicted to fantasies? Anything you could get addicted to. Thank God I didn't get on meth or something, because That would have been a thing too. Although one of my favorite people, Jessa Reed, talks openly about it, and I guess it was something for her. But we're digressing. Good Lord. Yeah, so I also was like seeing this, well, maybe my soul's trying to help me see that sex doesn't make me any happier. You know, that it's something to be enjoyed, but it's not something I need to be happy. Because it does feel like, and maybe it's changing now because I'm making this video or something, I don't know, because maybe there does feel like this sense like I could be opening myself back up to that experience again on the physical level, and it might actually feel aligned. I don't know, we'll see. But it did feel like it was really my soul not wanting to engage in sexual activity for a period of time, because my soul was trying to like show me like, hey, your happiness isn't derived from sex, from romantic intrigue, from romantic relationship. I haven't had that either, you know. I've had periods where that's been a thing. So I actually have had some of that for sure. Not a lot, but some. Yeah, but no sex. And it's like my soul wasn't letting me, right? It just would feel so out of resonance. It would feel so off in my heart center. Like I literally couldn't, as much as I wanted to, I literally couldn't. And so then I would stop even trying to get in the situation to have sex, you know, basically. I just gave up. I was like, well, fuck. It was just started feeling like so much wasted energy to keep, you know, pursuing sex. It was just like, it's not going to happen. And it is true. I have found over the last 2 years, like I am just as happy without having sex. I don't need it to feel whole and complete. And so my addiction to it has been diminishing. There is still that longing, but the longing actually feels, if I'm being honest, from more of a healthy place these days now. It feels like I want to experience it from more of a pure loving place, rather than a place of I need it or I'm not going to be okay. Like I think there is still something in me that is extracty around it, if I'm being honest, when I feel into these parts that really want to have sex. There is still something there that's like a bit extracty, but it's diminished a lot. And it's not nearly the force it was, you know, a couple of years ago. You know, and the Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous meetings have helped a great deal. They just brought a lot of awareness to that dimension for me. And they've shown me like what healthy sexual relating actually is. And there's a desire for something like that, you know? And I don't know if I knew what that was before Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous. I don't know if I had even ever experienced it. So yeah, what is wanting to be said without me trying to fucking get in the way and say it in a way that will be accepted by you guys? That's so much of the videos is like, am I saying this in a way that they're not going to reject me, you know? It's like, I need to just drop that. What is the deepest truth here? Yeah, it's like we can love something. Like I love sex. It's amazing. It's like one of my favorite things. But I don't like necessarily need to be addicted to it, you know? That's what I'm starting to distinguish in my own body. Is like now that the addiction qualities of it are falling away, and I don't feel like I need to have it to be happy or whole or complete, I'm starting to realize I actually do love it though, and I do appreciate it, and it's just a beautiful way to connect. And it's just amazing that we get to be informed and we get to have sex, you know? And there's something here that's really desiring from a true place, like it feels like in the true heart, it's desiring sexual communion and connection from this healthy place. I could almost cry saying it feels so good to say. It's like that's what's desired now. The old way is dying. And there is still some of that old energy in here. I'm not saying I'm like fully healed in this dimension, but it has dissolved quite a bit. So yeah, it is true. I miss having sex, but I can't have sex if it's going to compromise my like energetic integrity anymore, you know? I just can't. As much as my unhealthy parts would want to and would love to, it seems to me that this body has upgraded to such a point to where it will only have sexual encounters now if they are kind of like you could say in the highest alignment, if they are in energetic integrity. And that has been frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. For like the animal body, you know? That has been a huge surrender to go through. It's been a difficult journey to let go of the parts of me that were addicted to sex and just wanted to have sex and they didn't care if it was in alignment or not. But if you start getting very in alignment in one dimension, it's gonna happen in all dimensions. And this just kind of happened out of nowhere. This journey of celibacy that I'm on, you know? It just kind of, through healing, it's just like, oh fuck, I'm being celibate. I'm still being celibate. What the hell is going on here, you know? Whoa, why couldn't I have sex with that person? This is different. This is crazy. And then it just becomes your new normal, you know? And yeah, so that's what's happening over here with sex. I think that's where it really wanted to be shared. It's an interesting process to have sex, you know, go from being the center of your existence to it's like, okay, I guess it's just, you know, I guess it's kind of finding its proper place in my field, you could say. Or it's like finding, and it's different for everyone, right? Maybe sex needs to be the center of your reality for a certain amount of time because that's where you're learning the most about yourself. You know, who knows? You have a lot of strong ego gripping going on, but there's just this energy quality here in Florida where I'm at where it's just like, it's just blasting through. Truth is just blasting through. It's like I can barely get out of the way, you know? I have no chance against the truth here in Florida for whatever reason. It's got me. Yeah, this is just nice to be in this space reflecting on this because I wanted to talk about this for a long time, I think. Yeah, it's interesting, like Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, it's not about abstaining from sex. It's just about like learning to engage with it in a more emotionally and psychologically mature way, spiritually mature as well. And there's this sense like, I guess I'll be, and like I said, it could be changing, but it to me now it feels like it's really up to God when it happens, you know? And I think that's why I finally just gave up trying to make it happen from like that. I was, you know, from that old egoic place that would just knew how to kind of make that happen. It's like I had to surrender all of that. And there's a sense like when God wants it to happen, it will happen. That's the thing about giving your life to God. You give all of it to God. You give every bit of it to God. The places that you might not even want to give it to God. There's been so many inner fights in me, like, God, what the fuck? I just want to have sex, God. But those have been deaths, many deaths, or rather large deaths, you know, over and over again. And yeah, it's been quite the journey. Yeah, I'm sure I'll talk way more about this. It's really fun. I'm gonna leave this here. It's gonna take forever to upload. It's already late at night. Gonna probably be wide awake for a while now. but it was worth making it. All right, thanks. Thank you, Michelle and Ali, for your donations. Super helpful. Yeah, happy that the work is inspiring to you and you're inspired to give. I love to receive. Okay, just one more check to make sure. I know I haven't said everything I want to say, but yeah, this is just a process of becoming more refined. And sometimes to do that, God starves certain things out of us for a while. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give my ego a break. I love you all so much. Hope you're enjoying the videos, my God. Namaste.